Couple of days ago, when I shared this particular video to tell you guys how I was able to get a 5 years visitor visa into the United States of America. Now, a lot of people shared their thoughts. People asked quite a number of questions, and one of the questions that actually stood out was the fact that some people shared how their visa was rejected, how their visa application for the visitor visa into the US was rejected, and they asked the question, oh, what should they do next? So that's why in this video I'm going to share with you reasons why your visitor's visa is going to be denied if you apply because of the following reasons. And peradventure you've once been denied a US visitor visa, that is not the end of the road. Now, there's actually something you need to ensure you do before you push out another application. So if you're in the category of those looking at applying and you don't want to get rejected, or you've once been rejected and you plan to apply again, then you sure do want to watch this video till the end. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, please do hit the subscribe button to join the amazing Going family. And to my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. US visa application is a bit unique and quite different from that of the UK. Now, for the UK, all you need to do basically is to fill up the form online, pay the application fee, upload the supporting documents, go for your biometrics, and just wait for a decision to be made on your visa application. Now, however, for the US, you don't need to do any of those things. The only thing you need to do basically is for you to fill the application form online. It's quite a very detailed form, like very long form really. Now, just for you to fill the application form, pay the application fee, and then you get like an interview date. Now, the thing is, the decision of your US visitor visa application is actually decided by the person interviewing you. So you get asked some couple of questions, which I also shared in this video. I think I shared some of them in my last video. You might want to watch that video after this video. Now, the person is going to ask you quite a number of questions, and your answers will definitely determine if the person is convinced that you actually deserve or you should get the visitor visa or not. So you get like an immediate decision. I remember when I went for my own interview earlier this month. Now, it was really emphatic. It's so obvious that quite a number of people, because when people get rejected, because the moment you go for the interview and by the time you're coming outside, you still have your passport with you, it means you'll be rejected, because if your application is approved, they accept or they take your passport from you, and probably get sent back to you a couple of days after. But the moment you see people coming outside with their passports, you know that they've actually been rejected. And aside from a passport with them, even the facial expression tells you, oh, this person has actually been rejected. So yeah, so it's really a pretty straightforward process. However, you just need to be very convincing. Now, there are different reasons why people get rejected, and some of the reasons is what I will share with you guys in this video. Now, the first reason is error on your form DS-160. Now, I mentioned in the last video that your DS-160 is very important. Like it's one of the most important documents you have to have with you when you're going for your interview. So DS-150, I already put the link in the description of my last video. I'll try to put it in the description of this video also. Now, your DS-160 is filled after you filled your application form. So there are actually like two websites you need to fill in, you need to actually fill in your information. So it's after the DS-160 that you get like an appointment date for your interview, basically. And the information on your DS-160 is really important, because the moment the information you have on there is inaccurate, then it's definitely going to affect your application. And also, when you go for your interview, make sure that application form you're filling is filled with the right information. Because when we went for our interview, while the interview was going on, the person kept staring on their screen, and out of curiosity I asked someone, oh, why is the person interviewing constantly staring on their screen? And I discovered that the reason is because many of the questions you're being asked were some of the answers to many of the questions you're going to be asked, you've actually filled on the application form. So if they're asking questions like, oh, why are you traveling to the US, and you're giving an answer different from what you filled on your application form, then that's going to raise a red flag for you. So it's definitely going to affect your visa application. So make sure that you understand, or you're putting in the right information when you're filling the application form, so that when you're doing your interview, you're not saying something contrary to what you already filled on your application form. Now that is very, very, very important. Now another reason why people get rejected is failing to make a clear travel itinerary. Now one of the questions they will ask you is, where are you going to in the US? It's very important. Where are you going to? Now, unlike your Schengen visa application and all other countries visa application that you need to provide like flight itinerary and all of those things, now you don't need to provide that for your US application. So for me, when I was asked, oh, where are you going to where are you going to the US if you get approved? So I just told them basically, oh yeah, my plan is basically to go to New York in spring 2024, which is exactly what we're planning to do. My partner and I is to go to New York in spring 2024 just for tourism, have a good time off work for about 5 days. That was the answer, short and simple. And one reason why I tell people, when you're asked the question, don't answer the question more than what you're asked. Don't try to explain further. Just give them a very straight answer. Oh, I'm going to New York. Oh, I'm going to California for this purpose. That's all. Don't further explain that, oh, I will go when I'm on leave. Don't go that far. Just tell them you're going for this particular purpose, and that's it. Now, and that is why people get rejected for their US visa is because of financial issues. That's why I tell people that whenever you're trying to go for your US interview, make sure you have a document to prove your financial situation, which is probably your payslip or your bank statement. Now, one of the questions I've been asked in the last video is, how much do you need to have? You don't need to have a specific amount. There's no specific amount requirements. All you need to do is just make sure that you have enough money in your bank account that can fund a trip to the US. So you can have £200 in your account for the last 3 months and you're planning to go to the US. Of course, are you going to get to the US with £200? So at least have something reasonable. If it's possible, have like 2K, 2 grand. You don't need to have up to that in your account basically. But what I'm just saying is at least have a reasonable amount in your account for a while. So what I did, I printed a 6 month bank statement, and the money in that account should be enough to fund a trip to the US. Now, another major reason, which is one of the most common reasons why people get rejected, is failing to prove strong ties back home. So now I tell people, if you're planning to apply, make sure that you have at least have a job in your home country, or the country your country of residence. Have a job, have something that can take you back, or have something that will tie you back to that particular country. Because if you don't, they're probably going to feel that, oh, this person is not going to come back. You need to make sure you have a very strong tie. And how can you do that? If you've got a house in the UK, make sure you take your mortgage application with you. If you've got a permanent job, take your employment contract. If you're a student, a full-time student, take your evidence of being a student in the UK or whichever country you are applying for. And that reason is because of previous visa denial. Now, make sure you declare any previous denial in relation to US visa application. Make sure you declare that, because you don't want to try to hide it and they get they find out about it. Now, that reason is because of you being unprepared for the visa interview. Guys, before I went for my interview, I watched loads of videos. I read quite a number of stuff online just to make sure that you're well prepared for the interview. You don't want to get there unprepared and you're being asked some questions and you're unable to answer basically. And that reason is because of criminal history. So if you've got criminal history, you need to make sure you declare it also, and make sure that they are not criminal history. That will definitely impact your visa application. So in a situation whereby your visa application has once been denied, please guys, make sure you don't apply until your situation has changed. Now, for example, probably when you were denied or you had no ties back to your own family or back to your home country, ensure that by the time you're reapplying, you actually do have a tie back to your own country. Now, let me give you an example. For instance, you're in the UK. When you applied, you were probably on a post-study work visa and you had no job, you have nothing tying you back to the United Kingdom. Now, when you're pushing your application the next time, make sure you at least have a full-time job. Make sure you have something that's actually ties you back, or probably you've bought a house in the UK. Make sure you take it with you, your mortgage, documents, and all of those things. So make sure that your situation has changed before your next application, because if you apply in January and by December your situation is still exactly the same in the country of residence or your home country, and you're applying again, there's high possibility that you will be denied, because they've got a record of why your previous application was actually denied. So if you have any question in relation to applying for your US visa and how you can actually avoid being rejected, please state in the comment section. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, do hit the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.